Hello, welcome to the co-op interlude. Elden Ring DLC is out, and, well, none of us can really risk spoilers for that. We're all very into that. We are into Valheim as well, but the Valheim community that I've sort of built around me, very good on spoiling things, in that they don't, which is fantastic. I love that. I love you guys. And because I am primarily a Valheim channel, I built myself up to be Valheim, I am not going to let you guys in the lurch. If you are somebody who's watching the playthrough at a far-off time in the future, then by all means, if you want to skip to the next entry of this playthrough, then go ahead. But this interlude is just going to be me doing a lot of busy work. I'm going to be going through and chopping wood today because I want coal, and I want that coal for iron. So these interludes are going to include a lot of mining, a bit of farming, some busy work. But I also plan to drop some good old food for thought in terms of Valheim. I really want to talk about specific things in terms of stuff that I think would be really cool additions to the game. And reasons why they would be really cool, not only aesthetically, thematically, but also mainly just mechanically, I think. That's the main driving force behind a lot of design in this game. However, there are really good aesthetic options. But if you were to combine them together, there's the strongest case for them, really. And you match the good thematics of the sort of survival Viking world, and we're chilling, right? Not really too much of an argument outside of just some rando's opinion against it. Even though I am almost some rando arguing for these things, I hope that the quality of my ideas will prove otherwise, and that I actually have some pretty spicy ideas. Back in the day when I was really active on the Valheim Discord server, I had once I had finally figured out the game and a bunch of good ideas for them, my suggestions were actually super popular, so I hope that I will continue to impress with my suggestions here. Now, I'm going to be chopping wood today, and me and my friends have cleared a huge area here, but we have these really cool, like, mini groves here. These man-made groves of different types of trees that you can see, these pines, the oaks, the birch. And I think that's really gorgeous, but it's lacking the real aesthetic of what would be a more natural grove. And while the trees are very nice, not only for, like, raid defense in terms of the oaks, just keeping enemies from clumping up, like, that's pretty cool. And, well, you know, the enemies get to chop down fine wood if they can chop down the trees, which is pretty cool. Well, I think that there being some advantage right now to building around trees would be pretty cool, because at the moment, building in the middle of, like, beach or what have you, or in the middle of, like, black forest with pines, it's not particularly a good idea. You're just risking yourself in terms of trees falling on your stuff, on your tames, what have you. It's like it's not worth it. But I think even some sort of mechanical incentivization for having trees or a little natural grove, or even an unnatural grove that looks natural, near the base would be really cool. The number one way I could think of this would be tames. Just maybe a new tame or something that really just wants to be more shaded than usual. You know, they want to keep cool. I don't know what type of creature that would be. I don't know, like, mechanically thinking at this point, probably deep north shit, just because they're from a cold biome. Or something from the mountains, if they wanted to add something new that was friendlier in the mountains, that could be tamed. That would work as well. And considering that we already have this sort of lighting system with Sneak, where tree shade is very much still shade that provides more stealth value. I think it would be really easy to just tie sort of like creature aggro system to the tamed mob, or just have them maybe tame wicked faster in deep shade or darkness or something like that. That would be interesting. I would also really like there to be just maybe it would be really cool if there was occasionally just like a non-negative raid. They're called invasions, I know, which always has a negative connotation, but in the files they're always called events, and that has a much more neutral connotation. And I would like there to be potentially some events that were either just like odd, like really weird, neutral, kind of like how Odin shows up from time to time. But some positive ones too would be really cool. I know a popular suggestion every once in a while on the Valheim server is some sort of merchant showing up, being like, hey, we have some stock here, come say hi, and you trigger an event and it's a merchant, except they stay around for like the whole day or something like that. That would be cool. That would be interesting, right? Be a ton of cool stuff from there, and maybe they want to keep cover. So prerequisite, maybe you go and meet this merchant. They want to keep cool, or they want to take cover and be somewhat hidden, but they also want to sell you stuff, but they want to stay hidden from monsters because they might be really weak or something. Then having a lot of shade value attached to that would be really cool. And looking at all the tiny quote-unquote groves that we have with all these trees, them being especially as gorgeous as they are, being incentivized to just build near and around all these trees instead of just having dedicated simple tree farms and just having everything look pretty bland with relatively just cleared out lands. I think that would bring a lot of true and proper like raw landscape build freedom back into Valheim. I'm sure so many gamers have tried to just build around and inside like forests and stuff, only to realize how much of a bad idea that is when the ground starts shaking, right? But yeah, I definitely want to have a little bit more build freedom in that regard. I understand, like, even if you're gonna build a shack in the woods, you still want to build it in like a clearing, or you want to make a clearing, or you're going to make a clearing just by getting the wood that's convenient to you. And this is what we've done to the nth degree because we want our view to be ridiculous. But man, variety is always nice. And if we can mechanically incentivize that to some degree, I think it would keep base defenses on our toes, like wall-wise. It would keep tame structures very, very solid, especially because they're not really incentivized to be solid until certain raids that just absolutely obliterate them, like Cold Wind from the Mountains and Sturdy Cauldron. Like, these raids can absolutely shred through an entire group of tames, whether they be boars or potentially wolves. A good deal of them are gonna just go right down to that. And it's like, well, it wasn't even incentivized to even begin to build that type of structure around. However, if we had incentivizations one way, it could be a happy coincidence. And then, oh shit, maybe we need to reinforce, or maybe we need to restructure, or maybe we need to do nothing because we already had the right idea for another purpose. I think that would just be really cool. It would be a very satisfying moment in Valheim to realize, like, oh well, I wanted these trees around for this merchant or something like that, and the trees made me strengthen up my base and my tame area. so that, you know, just in case like there were hostile events or local mobs that break down the trees, or like a stray troll or something, that you know, the tames don't get destroyed, right? And conveniently, when very specific raids later on in the game come through, now my tames are doing alright. Now my tames are ready for it. You know, I've preemptively learned a different lesson that kind of crossed over with this. And I think that's just really cool. I think that's so cool. Let me know what you guys think about that. Now, I remember, because of all this fine wood disparity that we've been having on the server, because of portals and decorations and dark wood decorations, and I mean the base looks amazing because of it, but somebody's been leaving stumps, man. Oh, it's unfortunate. It's just, I don't know who's been leaving this oak log here, but I'm just gonna clean up this little forest here. Shout out that oak tree just demolishing this birch for me. I didn't even plan on it. Sure, just take it out. Why not? Why not? And yeah, crystal battle axe, I mean, at this point, it's so good for chopping wood. You get 2 or more targets. It's better than even the Jotunbane. I'm not kidding. I've done the math. The Jotunbane is the Jotunbane. It's absolutely vicious. Viciously bad. But the crystal battle axe is quite gorgeous, and being able to invest in axes and also go for sort of a bone mass plus, like DPS from the mid close, like where I can stand behind my friend as he's a sword user. If he's popping off with bone mass, I can pop off right behind him with the crystal battle axe, and I feel like that's gonna be good for the sealed tower when we go in there. It's gonna be a minute before we hop back in, but we need all of the iron, so I'm gonna be busy doing this. Don't be too worried that you won't get some Valheim content. And it's gonna be a minute because not only Shadow the Year Tree, but a lot of my friends are going to Poland on vacation, so they'll just straight up be out of the country, and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a cool time, I'm sure. Unfortunately, Poland is the officially first team to crash out of the Euros 2024 in terms of football. You know, European football, not American football. But that's a shame. I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, oh yeah, my friends are going over. Maybe if Poland make it real deep into the competition, there'll be a lot of festivities and celebrations and events. Like they go to sports bars and have some fun time. Nope, they're out. They're officially the first time out. I feel like I kind of jinxed them on that, but they still have a lot of things planned, and like museums to go to and towns to visit, and just a lot of fun stuff. I'm definitely in, like, I've been in hermit mode for the past like few years, so I don't know if I'm gonna go out. Plus, right now I have a left foot injury, so chilling with that. I gotta nurse that. Definitely unfortunate, but also kind of convenient timing. I'm also working on a tabletop RPG called Saltwater. That one's gonna be super cool. Working on the systems right now. I'm technically on like my 4th draft, but I used to call it just like low LMS or low magic system. Just call it like LMS1, LMS2. But I finally given it a name, at least a working title, called Saltwater. So that's really cool. I don't know if that's gonna be the name at the end of the day, but that's very exciting. That's super exciting. The world is going to be called the Great Well, or some people are going to call it like Gretwell, just because the natural shortenings and dialects that exist going to change shit up here and there. I think Gretwell is more fantastical as well, because it's like, oh yeah, it's the Great Well, but that's very much like assigning a proper noun. Which, I mean, okay. Earth is already a proper noun. I know what you mean, but it's like different proper nouns. It doesn't really. It's not. It doesn't give you anything if you don't already know some of the lore of the inhabitants and the world as I know it. And I'm not gonna say until it's done, but I'm making excellent progress. I think I have really good magic system in there. Like, just casting is really cool. Weapon system is excellent. The pure satisfaction of, like, actually playing the game is going to be fantastic. Not only that, but the simplicity and just what's the word? Ergonomics of it? The convenience of it relative to just having a million dice and everything. It's gonna be like token based with a 1d20 instead of just having a shit ton of rando dice. It's like, as a DM, it's like you need so many dice. I've GM'd for quite a bit now, you know, and I'm sure some older GMs would say, "Oh, it's not quite a bit of time," but yeah, whatever. And I found myself inventing cool systems because of the way that, like, the 5e world lacks certain lore stipulations between, like, how certain classes learn their spells or know their spells, and then the fact that we keep on getting expansions to add spells for them. It's like, they already know them, but they didn't have them earlier. What's the lore explanation? And there is technically a possible lore explanation, but they don't get into it in the books, which is tragic. It's like there's this missing link that could cause glaring questions. Like, I know that if I was a player, I'd be like, "Hey, you know what? Hold on, what's going on here?" And I can't allow that, just personally. I have to invent something, and so I've created a cool system which I'm going to take over to this world. It's going to be super satisfying. I remember I was talking to one of my players just about that sort of thing, and he said, yeah, that was like one of my favorite parts of playing, was that system. It's really cool. It's like, yeah, holy shit, I love it. Alright, I'm bringing it over. That's great. Love to hear that. So it's going to be very, very, very nice. I love it. I see all the Grey Dwarfs over there. No wonder there's dead Grey Dwarfs that my friend has been dealing with building the foundation of that tower. Oh man, that tower is going to be really cool. We're going to be like feather caping from the hook, landing on the tower. It's going to be so fun. And then we're probably going to feather cape off the tower and go at least like close to the base, if not in the base, which would be super cool. I'm really not sure if we can go full Fenris, run 100, and go into the base directly from the hook, but I don't know, that would be cool. I'm definitely gonna try. See that jump 83? I'm gonna have a shit ton. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I hit run and jump 100 at the end of the interlude, and also increase some other stats. Of course, wood cutting is really good. As I'm investing in axes, it's gonna just be super clutch for getting Yggdrasil wood. Oh my god, it's gonna be so satisfying. Because we're gonna need a lot of Yggdrasil wood for mage stuff, but man. Yggdrasil wood is often very inconvenient, which is really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys some other time. Bye.